And someone freaking explained to my parents that the job market is not like it was in the 80s, because what do you mean? That I have spent hours and hours and hours applying to jobs and have gotten rejected from every single one of them.
I'm tired of so many struggles, too many troubles. I try to make a...
Can we actually talk about how depressing it is to apply on this girl? To apply on Indeed, and the depression that comes with it? Because I know from experience, I used to apply for like 30 jobs each and every day, and nothing. Rejection left, right, and center. And the only interviews I'd get shame from the call centers, of course, and then the marketing jobs where you have to sell sweets there by Joburg. They don't even tell you that. They just tell you you have an interview for this marketing position, and when you get there, you have to sell SIM cards. You have to sell SIM cards. Can you please tell us about your Indeed story? Because wow, and I know some of you have successful stories, but some of us...
What happened to Indeed? I just turned 20 years old and I've had 4 jobs in my life, 3 of which I got from Indeed. I'm looking to leave my current position and have been looking for a new job for around 5 months now. I've applied to hundreds of jobs on Indeed in the past 5 months, and the only 2 that have gotten back to me lied on the job listing, and they're just door-to-door sales jobs with no base pay.
This is a thing called the hiring rate. It's basically how many people as a share of the total workforce get hired every month. And you can see it's way down. The last time it was this low was for a hot second in the early pandemic, but the last time it was sustained at this level was at the low point of the global financial crisis that melted down the entire world. America is in the middle of a huge jobs crisis. If you have a job, you're probably okay, and you might not even know that anything is wrong. But if you find yourself needing to get a job, it is like the Dust Bowl out there. So what's going on here? It makes more sense if you see what happens if you actually go online and try to find a job. Imagine I'm a new graduate, or I moved cities, or I got laid off, whatever it is, something came up, I need a job. LinkedIn, what do you got for me? All right, let's try searching writer job. I'm a writer, search writer, and let's look New York City metropolitan area. What do we got? Here we go. Okay, Condé Nast, writer, that's good, 95,000. That could be better. Posted 2 weeks ago, wow, over 100 people applied. Duolingo, okay, that's kind of fun. $153,000 a year, that's a little low for a big tech company. Posted 2 days ago, wow, over 100 people applied. LinkedIn stops counting applications after 100 people for whatever reason, I guess to not discourage you. So I apply for this job. I am up against at least 100 other people, and maybe a lot more than 100 people, which means my odds of getting it statistically are worse than my odds of getting into Harvard. So, okay, let's look for a lower salary. Maybe that will help cut down on this competitiveness a little bit. Games associate writer at the New York Times. Only a week ago, over 100 people applied. Okay, you know what? We're gonna try a job that's a little bit more in demand. We're gonna try marketing. It's not what I went to school for, but times are tough. All right, what do we got? Okay, grocery store in New Jersey, associates category manager. I don't know what that is. It doesn't list a salary. It was posted a week ago and over 100 people have applied. Okay, Google posted 1 day ago, over 100 people applied. This is a nightmare. There's nothing out there. I need to settle. I need a job. I'm gonna search barista. I'm not too proud. The thing is, you know, I need healthcare. If nothing else, I need healthcare. I'm gonna filter by medical insurance benefits. Whoa, look at that. It cuts down from 440 results to only 18 with it. Okay, sorry guys, I didn't realize it was super greedy that I wanted healthcare. What do we have? Barista at Joe and the Juice 6 days ago, 50 people. So yeah, like I said, brutal out there. Okay, this is the crisis. There are no jobs, very few jobs, and so many people looking for jobs, which means every listing out there gets a zillion qualified applicants. You could spend all day, every day firing off applications for jobs you're overqualified for and still never get an interview. And that is exactly the trap that millions of people are stuck in right now.
If you've spent any time online recently, you've probably seen videos like these. People applying for hundreds of jobs, not dozens, hundreds, sending application after application through LinkedIn, Indeed, and company websites only to hear absolutely nothing back. No interview, no rejection, just silence. What's striking isn't that one person is struggling. It's how many people are telling the exact same story, graduates, experienced professionals, people with master's degrees, people with 10, 15, even 20 years of experience, all competing for the same handful of opportunities. On paper, unemployment figures might not look catastrophic, but beneath the surface, many job seekers describe a very different reality. Endless applications, automated filtering systems, ghost jobs that may never have existed in the first place, companies receiving hundreds, sometimes thousands of applications for a single role. The result is a growing sense of frustration, not because people don't want to work, but because they're doing everything they've been told to do, updating their resume, networking, learning new skills, applying consistently, and still finding themselves stuck. Whether this is a temporary slowdown or a deeper shift in the job market remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. The experiences being shared by thousands of people online suggest that something isn't working. So, let's take a look at some of these experiences together. Listen to what people are saying, see if any of it sounds familiar. This is the seeing place. Look closer, understand more.
Please, Canada, please, start hiring again. Do something. I can't keep spending all day on Indeed and all day handing out resumes and all day calling people and all day emailing people for no response.
Okay, that's my 5th application done. I hope I at least get one of them. We're happy to inform you that we loved your application. Start Monday. Oh my god. Can't believe I just got a job. Application 1572. I've literally been auto-applying on Sprout for ages. How long is this gonna take?
This job market is so cooked. I have a degree in chemical engineering. Spent 4 years of my life getting this degree, by the way. And I can't get a job anywhere. I've applied to so many different engineering firms. I just cannot get a job. So then I started applying to places like Walmart and McDonald's, and I've been rejected from all of them. Every single one. I spent 4 years of my life for this degree, and I can't even get a job that pays $14 an hour. And it's not like I don't have experience in the field, because I worked at Walmart in high school. I worked at McDonald's in high school. I worked at both these places. I can't find a job still. And I've been trying to tell my parents about it, did you walk in and try to apply inside? I was like, what do you think I've been doing? I've literally had to resort to filing class action lawsuits on claimmoney.com to pay my rent. In what world does someone with a college degree need to rely on class action lawsuits to be able to live? I literally don't know what I do with that stupid website. I'd literally be in a box on the side of the road with my little degree holding it up to the cars that pass by.
We've heard a lot of stories like these, different people, different backgrounds, different cities, yet many seem to be describing the same experience, applying for job after job and getting nowhere. So what exactly is going on? One explanation is simple competition. When a single opening receives hundreds or even thousands of applications, standing out becomes incredibly difficult. But many job seekers believe there's more to it than that. Some point to automated hiring systems that filter resumes before a human ever sees them. Others talk about so-called ghost jobs, positions that are advertised online but may not be actively hiring at all. Companies can post roles to collect resumes, measure market interest, or maintain the appearance of growth. The result is that applicants can spend hours tailoring resumes and writing cover letters for opportunities that may never have been available in the first place. At the same time, technology has made applying easier than ever. A single click can send an application to dozens of employers, but that convenience works both ways. If it's easy for you to apply, it's easy for thousands of other people as well. The modern job search has become a numbers game. More applications, more competition, more uncertainty, and for many people the process is starting to feel less like finding work and more like shouting into the void. Whether these challenges are temporary or part of a larger shift remains unclear, but the frustration being expressed online is very real, and the stories we've seen today suggest that many people feel the system isn't working the way it once did.
I think I'm just gonna sell feet pics online for money because the job market right now is shit! I'm currently looking for a job and I don't have that much experience, so I'm just looking for an entry-level position, okay? Nothing too crazy. I'm looking at these entry-level positions. Let me know why one of them said 8 fucking years of experience. 8 years? You see, I'm no mathematician, but I graduated from college 2 years ago, and the last time I checked, college was 4 years? So 4 plus 2 is 6, right? So the extra 2 years would have meant that I would have been in high school. 8 years of industrial experience. Girl, I was still busy learning what the nucleus of a cell was. Like, you mean 8 years of industrial experience? No. Wait, but hold on, there's more. The tomfoolery doesn't end here. Nope. All of a sudden, all companies want to release ghost jobs where they just leave the position, but they never intend to fill it. So it's basically just rotting up there on the job board for like 6-7 months, and people are applying, getting their hopes up, and trying to get a new job, but clearly that job isn't meant to be filled. So like, why is it still there? You're wasting my time! I want a job and I want it now! I'm literally gonna pull a Kitty Fang and start crying because of work. But the difference between me and her is that she actually has a job. Meanwhile, I don't. Oh my god. Wait, that makes it worse. Wait. Oh my god.
So I seen a creator on here, and she was saying how basically she moved from Maryland to North Carolina. I could be wrong, but I think it was Maryland. And she said that she's ready to leave North Carolina because the job market is so competitive. People out here fighting over $19 an hour, $20 an hour. And as a North Carolinian, she ain't never lied. She ain't lie. Because depending on what field you in or whatever, but like, if you just, you feel me, trying to find a job or something and you got experience, in North Carolina, $20 an hour is a lot. Unfortunately, and when I was listening to her video, I was like, damn. She was like, yeah, they be out there competing over $19, $20 an hour. And I was like, but that's why it made me think about my video that I was talking about the other day, saying how I'm ready to leave North Carolina. And I was like, damn, that's probably why I'm ready to leave too, because I just think it's more opportunities out here. It's, let me put this little hair up on. But yeah, I just feel like it's more opportunities other places as far as like making more money. North Carolina, I guess y'all say it's not the deep south. Y'all remember y'all said that not too long ago. But it is like considered a southern state. And thankfully we have Roy Cooper. Because if we didn't have Roy Cooper as our governor, it probably would be, I feel like, a worse state than what it is. But yeah, they be out here competing for $20, $19 an hour. It's like that in North Carolina.
Just your friendly reminder that job searching in 2026 is literally a humiliation ritual.
Yeah, I'm looking for a part-time, no experience needed, probably around like 10 to 15 hours a week. Okay, yeah, part-time, no experience. What about this 60-hour-a-week van driving role? I mean, when I said 10 to 15 hours, I kind of meant it. Okay, yeah, no worries. 10 to 15. Care worker. Wait. Or care worker. Overnight sleeps required. Alright, let me have another look. Nah, we got nothing. Fine, right. Forget the 10 to 15 hours. What about just no experience required? Okay, that makes it easier. No experience. MRI technologist with incisionless neurosurgery.
Guys, the UK is a joke. I searched for a job on nearly every platform you can think of. LinkedIn, linked me to no jobs. Indeed, I indeed did not get no job. Governmentorg.com, nothing. Literally, you got the government out here complaining about people not working, but where's the fucking jobs for people to work? Like, this is insane. I've even gone to the job centre and said, is there any jobs going? Do you know what they told me? They've told me, we can't help you find a job unless you sign on. Like, what? This is ridiculous. Like, it's a joke. Like, I understand now why so many people join the pharmaceutical business. Wink, wink. It sounded like a good idea to me now. Jesus. Can't get a job anywhere nowadays. I'm starting to think I might have to go to one of the corner shops and ask boss man if he's got a job for me. Because it's crazy. Right now, I might just have to become a job centre babe. For real. Just to get a job. Because this is a joke.
I don't even get it, man. Why even go to college if they're not going to have jobs for us afterwards? My dad, my papa, offered to buy me a McDonald's or go to college. I should have taken that McDonald's, man.
Okay, so just last month, the federal chair got on here and said that there are zero net jobs, meaning there are no jobs being created.
Zero net job creation in the private sector.
That said, we are currently in what's called a stagnation, stagflation. Prices, things are more expensive, yet there aren't enough businesses, there's not enough job creation, there's not enough employed people to keep up with the steadily increasing prices. I did want to add that if some of you guys have sensed a bit of frustration in my tone with a lot of the current events that are not political, but they still have political ramifications, it's because of this. And this video is not to scare you. I'm in the same boat with you. It is to be honest with you and to tell you, do what you need to do to make an honest coin, to put food on the table for your family, to rid yourself from the grasp of poverty if you found yourself in that situation. I'm someone who's fortunate enough to have family to rely on as I navigated this very trying job market, but that's not the case for everybody. And I also don't have children, and that's also not the case for everybody. So at the end of the day, we are humans, we have to survive, and in order to do that, you're perhaps going to have to sacrifice to situate yourself in a stable position. I am frustrated because while things are afloat, pretty soon we're not even going to be able to afford the phone bills that are powering the phones that we're recording and talking to you if they continue this way. So yes, everybody wants to be morally courageous. We want to fight for the little man. We're liberals. We lean on me. But when you let perfection be the enemy of the good, purity politics prevails. That said, cut what you need to cut, tighten what you need to tighten, invest in what you need to invest in, only what you need to invest in, but do what you need to do to survive this dystopian reality caused by the current president. Yes, I am very political. I talk about politics. I'm a Democrat. But the point of this is to, yes, reinforce the notion that we would not be in this current economic state if it weren't for the tariffs, the high tariffs that the current president has imposed. For what reason, you may ask? I don't know. And the thing is, if he doesn't get a grip on things, including the war in Iran, among other things, you're also going to be jobless and things are going to get a lot more expensive. And because AI and Trump's tariffs and the wars that he's starting and stopping and the gas prices, it's all created a perfect storm for economic peril. Point blank, period. We are in a recession. I don't know why more people aren't calling it that. Perhaps it's because, yes, on paper, the economy is afloat, but is it really afloat if the economic standing of its people are drowning because of the lack of jobs, the lack of a proper infrastructure to support an American person? If it weren't for people and having families and their loved ones, we would look like the pandemic era, like the streets would look like the Great Depression. People would be homeless. I would be homeless if I did not have family to rely on. Now, thankfully, I have 2 degrees, a JD and a bachelor's, and a big part of the reason why I'm in this is because I am not quite yet over that bar exam hurdle that it's become my Achilles heel. However, there are still people who have the same degree qualifications as I do, and they're in horrible shape. There are people who have bachelor's, master's, PhDs, years of experience, and they still can't find work. And so I just want to say that you're not alone and plan accordingly.
I cried in an online interview when I was unemployed because that's how much unemployment was affecting my self-esteem. I was going for a job that was not related to my field. It wasn't something that I necessarily wanted to do. But at that point, genuinely, I was like, right, maybe I should just park marketing altogether because I can't seem to get a job in that area. So this was like a customer service job. It's kind of like a call center, maybe something like a chat bot, you're talking to customers, something like that. And I just felt so broken that in the interview, the recruiter, so I was talking to the recruiter before going to the actual interview with this company, and she was saying, you sure this is what you want to do? Like it's a lower level, you're kind of taking a step back. And I just cried because I was like, this is where I'm at. I just need a job, and I will be here for a year if I have to, because I've kind of given up with marketing. And she was really lovely and really understanding. But I actually ended up not going forward with that interview. I said, you know what, I can't do this, because obviously it's making me feel like I'm moving so backwards in life. And it's because it wasn't just the job for me. I had also gone through other things in my life that just felt like massive setbacks, and having to rebuild is really tough. And another layer being that I can't even get a job right now. And I'm trying to just settle for something that will pay the bills and make it work. It was soul crushing. Like, genuinely, it felt so heavy. And I want to share this video for anyone else that feels like they're not worthy, their self-esteem and self-confidence has been crushed, because then that can affect how you interview. And I'm not here with some crazy wisdom of like, here's how you fix all of that. It's just to remember that it's genuinely not you. People are facing rejection day after day. Recruiters and hiring managers, mainly hiring managers, are looking for unicorns that don't exist. So a lot of us are going to get rejected because they want a list, someone that ticks every single box, which is unrealistic. But for some reason, it's an employer's market and they think they can choose this unicorn. And I know because I've been there, so I'm sharing for anyone that feels completely disheartened with their job search and they're interviewing and they're getting rejections and they just don't feel like they're good enough. You genuinely are. You're great. All of your skills are still there. All of your experience is still there. Your wisdom, your enthusiasm hopefully hasn't dwindled with all the rejections and things that have been going on. Try and keep fighting. You are personally building a very, very resilient foundation. Resilience is a skill, and you are single-handedly crafting that skill to the best it could possibly be right now.
If you're on the job market, you're going to want to listen to this. And you know what? This is part 2, because I have a lot to say. After I talked about the applicant explosion, the ATS systems that weed out resumes, the lack of recruiters that give you slow response time, or the unqualified recruiters that are reviewing these resumes, and how about the companies who can't make decisions? Let's talk about the job descriptions, how unrealistic they are. I mean, this has been the story of my life. I've been staffing for 31 years, so I always see job descriptions that are unrealistic. The wish list, I call it. But back in the day, you could actually put a candidate in front of the client and they'd be open to talking to that candidate who isn't that 100% match, who doesn't have all the skills. Today, it's not happening. Companies want 10 years experience for a tool that's been out 3 years. They want the unicorn that can do 3 different jobs for the price of one. They want somebody who knows their tech stack, who knows their culture, who knows the workflow. That is a disaster for decision paralysis. I've said this over and over again, and I'll say it again. Companies and people, hiring managers, do not want to make a bad decision. They don't even know how to make a decision these days. They really have an inability to make a choice. It's because they're afraid of making a bad decision, and they're overthinking the process, and sometimes just have too many options. What really stinks for people out of work is that some of the job postings, they get ghosted because it's really meant for an internal candidate, and HR requires that you post it externally first. So the role is spoken for. It's either an internal hire, a contractor they want to convert, or someone they promised the role to. So really, external candidates never really get a fair shot. Here's the one that really gets to me, because I hear this from candidates all the time. They get ghosted constantly. And sometimes it's not because the recruiters are rude, but it's because they're managing too many requirements. They're managing too many applicants. I'm talking thousands of applications. And they are being told not to communicate and close the loop, or not to communicate until a decision is final, which, by the way, takes months. So it's not a broken candidate, it's broken system. And how about this one? I've been unemployed since November of last year. I've applied to hundreds upon hundreds of jobs and one interview a month ago. No, I did not get the job, even though the person said I was a great fit. I honestly don't know what to do. I don't either. You're not getting traction, and you're not getting the job because you're not good. You're not getting traction because the funnel is clogged. And you not getting the job may be the fact that they can't make a decision. Sometimes jobs go unfilled. I'm going to say thousands of jobs go unfilled because they're looking for the perfect match. The hiring process today is like getting noticed while you're in rush hour in Times Square. It's not about your worth. It's about the visibility in the overcrowded system. At the end of the day, most people don't get jobs from just applying. They get jobs from referrals, from networking, from direct outreach, from relationships, and really from being seen at the right time by the right person. To me, applying is like the most least effective way right now. You got to get out there and use those channels because that's the best way you're going to land the job.
These are more than statistics. They're people's lives, people's careers, people's futures. Whatever the cause, it's clear that many people feel something has changed. The question is, what happens next? This is the seeing place. Look closer, understand more.